Okay, so now some of you guys might be wondering, what is the big deal about the green zone and the fact that there are other players in this zone with me and that I am not, you know, basically you might be looking like, well, look, this whole game has PvP and co-op throughout it. It almost didn't make sense that the green zone, didn't have players. Like, some of you might be like, you know, what's going on here? Why do you care? And or why are you making such a big deal about it? They're just fixing a bug. Okay, we're gonna go and leave. Hopefully, these guys leave as well. Some of you might, who play the game know, well, the green rock zone is that way, and there's no difference in these things. It says no PvP. There's really no difference. Why? It just seems like it was a bug. And in fact, that's what the devs said. You'll see here where this guy said the devs are being greedy, make the green forest zone solo again. I don't agree with this comment. I think giving him a 1-star for this was silly. But Kafir responded, hello, some locations have always been multiplayer, but due to a bug, different players could not visit them. The problem has now been fixed. And this guy said, lie of the century. Now, some of you might be like, why would he say that? That's so dumb that he would say that's the lie of the century. It sounds great. It sounds reasonable. That's how the rock zone is. Why wouldn't the non-rock zone be the same way? And the answer is, well, because those of us that are veteran players know why the green zone is the way it is, and it's not a bug. It was purposely put there on May 22nd because of a response to a big developer thing in May 15th. May 15th of 2020. So over a year ago, the devs said, hey, and there's so much to explain. Okay, first of all, back then, let me show you. So this mob, right now, if I run away to about here, he runs away, right? You see that? There you go. He ran away. It didn't used to be that way. In fact, it used to be probably twice as long, maybe even 3 times as long before an enemy would de-aggro. And because of that, what a player could do is they could get all of the mobs in the entire zone and they could bring it over to someone who was, let's say, opening a chest, and you could come out and you could say, you could go up and maybe they just weren't paying attention. They were just kind of chilling, just they're on their phone. They're a casual gamer. They're enjoying getting some loot. Maybe they've got some good gear on and they're trading with someone. Who knows what it was? But these guys would bring like 40 mobs over and they would just go and just kill the person. And then they take their stuff. And it was super annoying. It drove people crazy. And it was even, some people would just troll all the time. Like, I'd be just going for resources, just trying to get trees, and people would try to get all these mobs to come over and kill me. It was so annoying that, from my understanding, if I remember that time right, and obviously I was really big into Frostborn even over a year ago, if I remember correctly, it was the biggest complaint that Frostborn experienced from players at the time. Okay? This is a crazy, it's just a different world. Like, you can't even imagine it because it's not even an issue anymore, mainly because they changed the de-aggro level. But it was like tombs all the time, when you go into a tomb in its friendly zone, which, again, they fixed that because that's a PvP zone, whereas this was a no PvP zone. And the problem is only when you get into no PvP zone. Look at this guy bringing them over to me. That's what it used to have. That's what I'm saying. But it used to be able to be 40 guys. It was so annoying. But now I want to kill him, so I'm like, please bring him over. I'll take him. Okay, so we've cleared this out. I don't think this guy's going to leave this zone. So we're going to go ahead and go back over to the green forest zone. So if you got this picture that this is the biggest problem, it's at least in the top 3 biggest problems of Frostborn is these trolls that were bringing in mobs. It was such a big part of Frostborn. And so they do this big poll, this big thing of like, hey, how do we, I know you're upset about it. We're going to talk about fixing it. And then in the very next update, 7 days later, on May 22nd, they made the change for the green zone to no longer just a family zone, and then the rock zone to be you can still, but it gave people a place that they could farm and not have to worry about farming. Not have to worry about other players showing it up to reset, all of that, that. Now, there were a few things that happened from it. We quickly discovered leather strip farming, which we talked about, and it's funny hearing us talk about it in those videos about how, like, oh man, it's so easy to get leather strips now. We had no clue how valuable leather strips would become once their point system, because even like how you got points, everything is just the game is so different now. So it was a little different back then. Let me go over here real quick to screen capture. This is my channel at the time. So basically, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the update happened around this time. Okay, the new PvP pro players. This is part of the beta of that update. Okay, so this is this is May 22nd of 2020, long time ago. And then, here's my free-to-play solo series. Back then, I did a free-to-play solo series every other day. And honestly, there was a lot of other stuff that was much more controversial about that update. Okay, so we didn't talk about that particular change a ton because there were much bigger things. Like the biggest thing that they changed was the healing salve. People were really upset because back then it used to be that a healing salve would heal you 20 health per second. Okay, it's very different than now where you can do the 150, boom, and you can't get hit during it. It was the best healing in the game, and it was like got nerfed to where now it's crap. So that was really controversial. But there was even a more controversial change, which I'm going to be talking about here soon. You won't see it on here because Kafir doesn't like to mention the bad changes. They just want to mention the good ones. Actually, it might be on here, but you can see here the healing salve. This was a very controversial one because it was the best healing in the game. Okay, big change. They added durability to large sacks and shoulder bags and backpacks. That didn't happen before that update. It used to be that backpacks lasted forever, and that this was the update that was super controversial. People were really upset about the fact that now your backpacks can lower in their durability, especially because the shoulder bag at the time couldn't even be made free to play. It was only a pay to win item. So they added the shield around your character when you entered a zone. Back then before that update there were no shields. You'd enter a zone and you could just get killed before anything. They added the maximum character health pool now increases based on your level. This was another big change. Before they made it to where we could have even more health. Before this update, I think the Protector had 200 health, and that was the highest amount of health in the game. And then after this update, 300 became the new maximum. So this was such a big crazy update when they made all of these crazy changes. that were much more controversial. In fact, it's crazy thinking about the parallel. It was actually when the apprentice staff was added to the game. So this whole tactic that I've been showing you guys with apprentice staff and Fire Mage 2, it was the update in which they made the green zone turn into a solo, just a family zone only. Was also the update in which they, had the apprentice staff and the rusty dagger, the rusty knife. Those were new items to the game that they had just added. So it's kind of funny to even look back and see the parallels. Class quests can now be skipped. That is something that was for coins, which they've taken away. They've made the game more free to play since then. This was honestly kind of a bad update. It was a very pay to win update. I haven't even told you about the more intense thing that has happened. So they did balance some skills. That's good. Spells. All spells now require weapons to lower durability on that chosen weapon. So this was another, just people were, this update was crap. It was a bad update. And people, there were some good aspects of the update. I actually thought the PvP was amazing. And I even like the healing salve update, because in the past it was you're spamming your healing salve and you're trying to manage your health, and that's how you have health. Whereas now in Frostborn, it's you kind of have the health you have. No one can last forever. Even a protector will probably die unless you're not using the proper weapons against it. You can't heal past more than the damage being done to you, except maybe the protector, but you get what I mean. And but back then it was always like you could easily heal as much as damage could be done to you, depending on the situation. So it was a huge change to PvP, and I'm really glad they made the change. But other than that, the update was very pay to win update, and I haven't even gotten into the most intense and most frustrating part of this change of update 0. They did weird update numbers back then. Update 0.11.1.30. Okay, that was the update. It was on May 22nd of 2020. But the real controversy, the most controversial change made in that update was actually that they took the repair table out of the crafting menu. It used to be that you could craft a repair table. Okay, I really want to show you guys. So I don't know where exactly you would find. I don't know where in my free-to-play solo series I crafted the repair table. I have a feeling it was probably somewhere around here, maybe here. This is episode 15, so maybe, I'm not sure exactly which one it was. Honestly, I might even have done it. I don't know which free-to-play solo series I got it, but I did get my repair table free-to-play. But then with this update on May 22nd, they made it to where free-to-play players could never get the repair table. Obviously, this season is changing that, at least theoretically. You'd have to grind and have no life, but it is possible, theoretically possible. It's hard. It's dumb. Honestly, it's not really. I would not consider it possible. I thought they were fixing it. It's a stupid missed opportunity. Anyways, all that to say, this video right here, I delete my repair table in anger. Best item in the game. This is a good video. Only 10,000 people have watched it, which is kind of low for, a free-to-play solo series. You can see some of these are like 16,000, 18,000. This is a good video. It's only 16 minutes long. I think you guys should go watch it. So in this video, you'll see that I talk about the repair table, which again, this is not about that. But listen to what I say in this video.
And now it's like, well, who cares about leather strips? Like, literally, I mean, we have only been farming for like 15 minutes and we've done like 50, we're doing like a zone a minute, pretty much.
So this is new, like never before have you been able to do the zones like this, because it was a multiplayer, like there was multiple teams that could come together and they made it a family only zone. So you can see here that this is May 30th that this video was posted, but the change was on May 22nd.
Look at that. Throwing hammers are worth 8 copper bars. Now, the devs, if you see this, you may think, oh, we got to fix this, which, great. I'd love for you to fix it, but don't change just this. Don't make us wait to reset a zone after boxes. That's something I love about this game, is to be able to reset a zone as soon as all the boxes are empty. What would prevent us from doing this in the past was having more people in the zone, which felt good. It felt energy. It felt lively to have lots of other people playing in that zone with us.
Stop. It's crazy. It's so crazy listening to myself. 14 months ago. I actually still stand by this. I know you guys are going to be like, what? How could you betray us that you want the zone to be the way that they've changed it now? I think that it makes more sense for this to be a zone. Now, I do understand your complaints, and I'm going to get to it, and I agree with you guys, but I think that there's other ways to fix what you're wanting to fix, and I think that the zone should be I think that this was a good, like they fixed a bug. I'm like, great. I think great. I think that it should be fixed, but there's a big but in there. But I want to go back to this video for a second.
And now they're gone. I'm by myself. I feel like I'm playing Last Day on Earth. This is just a solo game. I don't have to worry about people trying to kill me in the zone by getting mobs and trying to kill me, but it's stale. That sucks.
Okay, anyways, if you want to watch the video, go watch the video. It's, I deleted my repair table in anger, the best item in the game. It's a good video, and I think at one point I talk about how my 7-year-old son, which he was 7 back then, was able to farm the green zones fine and not have any problems, with the players that would come and bring those mobs over and kill them. And so I was actually really passionate back then, as obviously there was so many other bigger changes that I would talk about, but when I would talk about this change, I was like, devs, I don't like it, and I still don't like it. But here's the thing: just because I like this change doesn't mean that I agree with Kafir in the way that they have made this change. And I definitely don't agree with this. I actually, so I've talked to some devs, and I've heard the devs actually say this, and I think that these devs, they're not trying to lie. Like, they literally don't remember. Like, new employee, it looks like a bug, but they don't remember that it was changed that way right after we had this big discussion as a Frostborn community about how to fix this problem. So it might look like a bug, but it's not. It was purposely put there. So whether it's intentional or unintentional, is not true. Okay, Kafir is wrong. This is straight up wrong. Okay, but even that, I don't like the fact that after 14 months, whether they wanted to fix it or not, again, I still am for them fixing this. After 14 months, they changed it because we're getting a lot of season points from it. Okay, that is what I think you guys are really upset about. You're not necessarily as upset. Some of you guys are upset about leather strip farming being an issue, and I resonate with that as well. I think that but again, these are all all of these issues have actually to do with the fact that we're trying to manipulate something to overcome the crappy system they set up. Leather strips, we want that because we just want lots of points, right? Like, the leather strips are so valuable because you can turn them into pickaxes and turn them in for 30 points. That's why leather strips are valuable. That's why we want to be able to leather strip farm. So, I would say that's not, like, you can fix the zone. Great. They fix the zone. Good. But you have a problem with points. The point system is a problem. And the devs might respond to that and say, you know, you were just saying in a previous video how you can just do Odin's 2 or 3 times and then you can get a new class, or, 18 times and then you get a level 3 class. And I'm like, yeah, I understand I can do that, but I am literally doing it just to blow through so many of those resources just to get those points. That doesn't feel right. That feels really grindy. And how about you just let us grind a lot less and PvP a lot more, and then that's how you make your money. Like, I want you to make money, just give us more fun. Don't make us grind so much to have fun in this game. So anyways, that's a soapbox. That's about leather strip farming. As far as points, I mean, personally, I've already shown you guys that I think you can still do. I'm still doing the auto trick, and it's working great. It's a little bit slower, but not that much slower. Just going back and forth between the zones. Lots of people are doing it. Lots of people are getting points. Really, the only way that they might fix this is if they made the apprentice staff more expensive. And, oh my gosh, Kefir, don't screw up your game. If you're gonna do that, then make points easier, but even then, it's like, what's the harm in this? Like, we're playing the game where there's a lot of newbie people that are like, I don't know why these people are killing all the mobs for me. I'm just gonna go and get the resources. I think this is good. It's making the game feel alive. There's people in it. Why would you jeopardize this? So anyways, that's the story behind it. That's kind of the story behind it. It was a very big update. There was a lot more to that update than the green zone being changed. But the reason why veteran players know that it was changed on purpose is because of the huge discussion we had the week before, specifically about, again, one of the biggest problems in Frostborn at the time. And so that's why veteran players are making such a big deal about this change. They waited 14 months and then they changed it when we were getting a bunch of season points. So I still think you can get lots of season points. I think it's a good change. I just think they have other issues. And we were using that as a way of mitigating the other problems of Frostborn, but it wasn't. I don't think you guys actually care about the zone having life. Having life is good. Like I said in the video, like, it makes the zone feel more alive. That's a good thing for the game. But you guys are also validly upset that it's making getting points harder and getting season points harder. So Odin's points and season parts are now harder. Devs, please listen. Make it a little bit easier for us. Give us some more PvP options, and then we will blow through that gear in PvP, which then gives you guys more money, which is what we want. We want to have fun, and we want you guys to have money. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.